Welcome to Kaleidoscope Toy and Miniature Australian Shepherds in Raleigh, North Carolina. I thought today we'd do something a little bit different. Once a week I go through my dogs and over my dogs and I groom them, brush them, comb them, check them for fleas and ticks, and trim them up. And you've seen in my videos that my dogs do a lot of swimming, they do a lot of running around, they do a lot of rolling in things and getting in the mud, and their coats stay in good shape. And I'm going to show you why that is. Now you'll have to excuse my sunglasses because I've got a big ring light in here. It's kind of dark in here and I have light sensitive eyes, so I'm sorry about the sunglasses, but I have to wear them. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do, now notice I don't have a grooming noose on my dog. I'm not hanging it in a grooming noose like a lot of people do. I don't have a leash on her either. And I'm just going, if I needed to, I'd put a leash on her to keep her from jumping down, but I don't have to worry about it with her. And I'm just going to go, you've got a double-coated breed, you have got to run your fingers all through that dog, everywhere. And you're going to feel for bugs and sores, stickers, all kinds of things in the coat. And just be sure that you run your fingers all through that dog. Underneath the armpits especially, they tend to mat right there and accumulate stuff. And I'm just looking her over, feeling behind her ears is another place where she would mat. Now, I use a thing like this is a undercoat rake, and the little fingers on it actually spin. And I'm just going to go through the dog with this rake. If you brush your dog like this, you're never going to get down to the skin. You're just going to go across the top and you're going to go, oh yeah, she's all brushed out. You've got to go down to the skin, and the way to do that is with an undercoat rake or a comb. So I'm just going to go through the whole dog with this. All right. Yes, you're a good girl. Yeah, hold still. You gotta hold still. And I'm being real gentle because, it is coming in contact with the skin, but you can see that I'm getting some hair out of her. And it's only been a week since we did this last time. And I'm going to go through the entire dog with this rake. Now, if I don't want to see a lot of fur flying around, I'm going to take some kind of a shine product, and I'm just going to dampen her coat with it a little bit. And then the fur isn't going to fly. I'm in a grooming room, so I don't care, but if you're doing this in your house, then this way, as I'm pulling up the coat, it's not flying all over the room. And I'm also working a conditioner into her coat with the shine product. And I'm just going to go all over her with this. See all the hair that I'm getting out of her? If you'll do this once a week, you're going to cut down on a lot of the shedding around the house by just going through the dog with the rake. Don't want to forget up here her ruff, and I'm going to pull the coat towards me in front so I can get down to the skin. These dogs haven't had their run yet this morning, so they're feeling a little lively, but they know how to behave on the table. And I like to leave them loose because if I had her head in a vise, if I had her hanging in a vise, if I'm making her a little bit uncomfortable, she can let me know and I can get a little bit more gentle. That is, if her head is not hanging in a vise. But if her head was, then I wouldn't really be able to tell how she was feeling about the grooming. And then that's when you get bitten, because they get pushed to the point where, but look at all that hair. So I just prefer to leave my dog loose when I'm grooming it. And I prefer to do it on a table. Now, as I say, if I thought some of my dogs are likely to just jump off the table, I would have a little slip lead on her to prevent that. But I'm still going to let the dog be comfortable and move around the table unless I need it to stand still. Okay. See, you could do this. I'm not going to sit here and do this for an hour, but I could. If you have one Australian Shepherd, put on your favorite show and get to grooming, and you're going to probably spend at least a half an hour doing this. All right. So once I have that done, then I'm going to go through her with the slicker brush. Now, I use the slicker brush in a variety of ways. You can do it this way, but again, that's not getting it down to the skin. So what I'll do is I'll take it and use it sideways like this. And just dig down and really stimulate that skin. I'm not getting much hair, so that's good. I got most of it out with the rake. Okay, so you can use it this way. You can use it sideways, especially behind the ears. And you can also go backwards with it and pull up some more undercoat that way. So I'll just use it in lots of different ways. See how much coat I'm getting, which is not very much. So, if you do this once a week, then you're not going to have to spend as much time. If you do it once a month, you're going to have to spend a lot more time, and you're going to run into mats. And this is how we're going to prevent the mats. There's not much fur in this. Now, I'm going to show you some hacks for pet Australian Shepherds. What I do, and you may have noticed this on Jessie, is I trim the feathers and I shave the belly. I have a number 10 blade on my clipper, and I'm going to go underneath her and I'm going to shave her belly. Won't fall off the table. Shaving her belly. Now you can't even tell that the belly is shaved, but what that's going to do when she's running through mud, she's not going to accumulate a bunch of mud under her belly to drag into my house. Now the other thing that I do is, I'm going to shave the back leg and the feet so she doesn't drag a bunch of mud in my house. This is a number 10 blade. You see, you can't tell. It just looks nice and neat. And then I'm going to shave where she evacuates out the back end here. And I'll make a little pathway here so I don't get a bunch of butt crumbs all over my couch and all over me and all over the house. So it's real simple. It's very simple to keep your Australian Shepherd in good shape, to keep the coat in shape, and to not have a bunch of fur all over your house, and to not have a bunch of mud all over your house, with just a few simple tools. So you need your undercoat rake, you need your slicker brush, and you need your comb. And then this is a blade for breaking up mats. So if she had a mat, I would just run this blade through. And see, you have to be careful with the blade because it can make their skin sore. But see, I'm even getting more coat with the blades. You have to be careful because you don't want to pull out good. Storm grows a pretty big coat. You have to excuse my glasses. I've got a ring light in here and it hurts my eyes. I've got sensitive eyes. So right away you can see that Storm has a long outer layer of coat. When you look at a dog like Jessie, she looks like she has a lot of coat. She really doesn't. Her coat's about 1.5 inches long, but it's just very full. He has a long guard hairs with a shorter undercoat. So he's more likely to mat and just to get a nasty, ratty look to him. So I'm going to go through him with my comb and with my undercoat rake. Now he likes to lay down for grooming, and that's okay. I don't mind that. And, you know, if I need him to stand, I'll have him stand up. I'm going to trim off all of these feathers, and I'm going to trim off all of this mess. Well, I don't know, it's pretty. I might trim off part of it. And I'm going to shave his belly. And that is how I keep these dogs from dragging mud all over the place. And then they also dry out better after they've been swimming, because you really want your dog to get dry after it gets wet. And I don't want to have to blow dry 12 dogs every time they go swimming. So I'm going over him with the undercoat rake. And again, I'm not putting him in a grooming noose, making him stand, choking him, any of that. Okay, I want my dogs to enjoy grooming, and I also want them to be able to tell me if I'm being too rough or if they don't like something I'm doing, and I can either move to another spot on the dog for a while, or I can modify what I'm doing. This undercoat rake has little tines that spin. It's pretty comfortable for them, but you don't want to work one area for a long time. So I just let each dog find his favorite position, and Storm's favorite position is on his back. But now I need his other side. Hey! Look, spat going on out there. I've got some dogs I'm babysitting in there. Maui. Okay. There we go. Stand him up, going over him with the rake. This is the undercoat rake. I hit a snag like that. I'm going to come over here with my comb and go through it with the comb. All right. Yeah. So on my dogs, I tend to shave out the belly and keep these feathers short, so they're not tracking a bunch of stuff in the house and the car. I just did my big black border collie, Rush, because he has to be in the car every day for work, and he was shedding all over my car. So I need you to stand up for a minute, buddy. Stand. Okay. All right, so I'm just feeling him, seeing if he has any owies, any stickers, any ticks. And another really good way to find bugs is with a blow dryer. A really heavy duty blow dryer like I have. Anyway. So, you know, it's only been a week since he's been groomed. And I can't emphasize enough, if you can do this at least once a week, twice a week, you're going to have a lot better time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim some of those feathers. Not a lot, but just a little. Stand up. Stand. Stand. Okay? Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to trim off a little bit, shorten this up just a little bit. Do it over here. And I'm just going to take off about half of it. My scissors would cut. Just to neaten it up a little bit, okay? And that way he's not dragging as much stuff into the house. Okay, now back here. See, this is really long, these tail feathers. So I'm just going to trim them up a little bit so that he doesn't stand up. Stand. Stand. So that he doesn't drag as much stuff around. Okay. Stand, stay stand. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Clean it up just a heck. Oh, there we go, just a heck. A hair, just hair. Clean it up a hair. Okay, so we've trimmed that a little bit. Now I'm going to take my 10 blade. Go up the back of his leg. Get rid of that now. It's not real bad, so give him a little back. And clean up the evacuation point. And then I'm going to go under him and do his belly. Just a little bit. Right in front of his Twizzler, so he doesn't pee on himself. There, stand up. He does not like to stand. Okay. And then, you know, he's so handsome, I'm not going to shave. The females, I keep them shaved too because of the nipples. But I'm just going to trim this with the scissors. So he's not dragging so much stuff into the house. So that's a good way to, you know, groom your pet Australian Shepherd to keep him comfortable and to keep your house a little bit cleaner. So I just thought I'd share that. This is a Storm. I did Storm and Jessie, and now I've got 10 more to do. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.